Wow. So it's been a while. We've not really uploaded anything for quite a long time, so I thought the best way to get back into this would be to do a video of me playing ranked, having not played Halo really for like 4 months. My god, there's so many mistakes that I made in this game that I really walked away from knowing that it was my fault my team lost. Which I don't feel like happens too often, but this game definitely you'll see. So let's get into the game. Strongholds on interference. It's the only HCS game mode that there is, but bear in mind in ranked you also have King of the Hill, and I believe Slayer on this map as well. Shower's done a really good video on this map and some of the callouts and stuff. I might do something similar in the future, so for now I'd say go check his out. We'll see how we get on with that. We're just focusing on VOD reviews at the moment. I'm really just going to be looking at sort of mechanical mistakes that I make in this. We will talk a little bit about sort of macro things that you can do in this game. But I don't mind. I don't think me starting here is bad. I think looking at the tower and trying to get an idea if they're coming through the white hall or the long hall, so I get an idea what's going on. Not forgetting, obviously, you can use sound cues as well. Trying to zone out opponents here. Notice there's a fight over here, just to help my teammate out a bit. Will say you will notice in this video especially, my aim is not as good as it was. And I really need to go back and go into aim training. And I know that some people are switching over to mouse and keyboard as well. So I will link some of the stuff I use in the description about that. There are obviously more professional mouse and keyboard players, like, you know, Wootum's like the flavor of the season right now. So he'll probably have some stuff he wants to say. But I just do generic aim training and that tends to get me through. Kind of wandering around aimlessly right now. That was a really strange decision for me to just kind of walk out like that. So we just come right around the corner here. I get shot from sort of that direction, so someone's pushing. And I'm low shields and I'm just kind of stood in the open, so I should have immediately just kind of dipped this way for this. I'm not sure why I decided to just continue pushing out even though I was getting shot by the guy that was over there. So you can tell there's like a disconnect between what I think I should do and what's actually happening, and it's sort of the thought process isn't quite there. That's just habitual. That's something that you really just need situational awareness at the time. Again, I know there's a guy in long haul. There's two guys here. Straight away, I should just be dipping out. There's no way in hell that I'm ever going to win this fight. At the very best, this is a 1-for-1. Considering two of my teammates are dead, this is just a no. Definitely going to die for this. There's no way I survive. Yeah. And just get picked up. So I should have just backed off into engine there. That fight was over as soon as that guy popped the overshield. Should have maybe gone to bunker, tried to just set up a little bit of my team. Could have then probably fought this overshield guy. Trying to get some shots on the overshield. You don't want to hard commit to fighting an overshield, but you want to try and burn as much as you can. I don't really think there's anything wrong with what I'm doing here. Checking the corners. Again, trying to keep my reticule. We talked about this months ago. Trying to keep my reticule roughly where people might be. You could argue that I didn't check over here. And there could be someone here as well, but it's unlikely. There is someone above me, though, and the sound cue is not coming through particularly well. He's up here, if you've not figured that out already, and his overshield's just gone out. He should have heard me walking around, and for some reason he didn't. Maybe he was looking. And we do have numbers right now. Taking it is a good idea, but my team is defending B, so I just want to be careful if anyone comes through Whitehall. You can see a player here that's just come through, trying to nade me out. Taking that fight was really stupid. I didn't need to take that fight. There was not really anything I could gain from taking that fight. Straight away, as soon as I captured it, I probably should have just dipped back into engine. I know the guy's there. He shot me. So it was just a little strange for me to take that fight. So again, you know, it's not Slayer, it's Strongholds. And even if it was Slayer, it was still a dumb fight. So be aware of the fights you're taking and if they're needed. That fight was not needed in any way. I got B. I could have just walked off. He has to attack B to score. That was very silly. Getting a bit of damage in there's fine. This was quite a risky run through. I should have jumped onto the platform instead of just landing in the sewer there. But I did get away with it. Bear in mind when you're capturing a stronghold, you are telling the enemy team where you are. And I did miss a little trick there. So if you look at what's going on here, there is some gunshots going over towards the A side of the map, but Jimax just died. So Jimax just died. Someone's taking B. That means that all this area here is open to someone spawning because my team is on the other side. The other player that's on my team is on my left. So this means that if someone spawns in bunker, it's unlikely they'll be able to shoot me. But there could be someone spawning on C. Sorry, on this area over here, which I believe is carbine, or yard, some people call it sometimes. So that area there was open to spawn in. I totally did not notice that at the time. And the guy spawns up, and I should have got the drop on him, and I just completely just do not. And he kills me. This is a good example of not taking fights, though. So I did not need to take that fight. However, walking back into the hall like that, very stupid. I should have just left. So that's like the third time this game I've died, just making poor movement decisions. And during that time, remember, the team is now a man down. So this is why we're losing at this point. I am just dead so often. Someone just popped over shield. Should have heard that. I do not want to be here. I recognize that. I move back. Teammates fighting. Unfortunately, he dies. But I know overshield and two other guys are over there, so I can't push that. Looking at my teammates, so you can see Fizz and the other guy there pushing up. I know there's a guy underneath. I can isolate the angle from here so I can stick around. This challenge was terrible. Don't do this. That was desperation. So you can... I'm very aware at this point that I'm playing very badly. And this guy's one shot. My teammate goes down. I even picked the thruster up. As soon as I got to here... and saw these guys over there. I should have just thrusted out, but I didn't. I slid out. This is so aggressive. Don't do this. So when you're in a scenario like this, you cannot just blindly fly into an open area like this and expect to get away with it, especially at like Diamond 6. So this was another really poor decision that led to a death. So you can see now the desperation's coming through because I'm very aware that my team is behind because I just keep flying in and trying to do too much. Onyx just died on C. I know the enemy's around. Fizz is fighting on the bottom. I jump down, full commit. I need to support him. This is a risky move. I probably should have looped and shot from the top where I'm going up here. I do get the guy and give him a good headshot, but yeah, I should have looped around the back and kept the height advantage there. I was quick to pick up that they were spawning on the bunker side and moved to A here, so there's nothing particularly wrong with this rotation itself. But let's see how I take the fight. So this is a good isolation. This little angle on Tower 3, it kind of cuts off some of the platform here, and it allows you to see down into engine. Remember, we have got outlines on, so I wouldn't know that these guys are over here. But it does give us some clue. The only problem with this is because I'm stood here, if someone was in bunker, I am sitting here and ready to be shot in the face. This full commit was really silly, though. Because, for some reason, my brain did not pick up that there was a guy right there. And he was there he was there. And I probably thought he left. I thought he'd rotated because I wouldn't have taken this fight. Well, rationally thinking, I wouldn't have taken this fight knowing there's a guy in tower. I would have just left and rotated to try and stop the enemy team catching B because they've lost a player and they know a player's in tower, right? So if they go to B, they're at a numbers advantage. But this guy actually came back, and it's not that he made the wrong play, it's that I carelessly exposed myself, and now I have no shields and now I can't do anything. So now my team is fighting 2v4 over there potentially, and there's nothing I can do. If the guy was looping round again, I wouldn't know that. There is someone capping B. We've left the entire side of the map open on C, and I've recognized that. So I'm looking to see if anyone kind of tries to pass through this area here and try and take C. And I'm also trying to prevent a flank coming through from this area here as well. So there's nothing particularly wrong with hanging here. I tend to play this way where if no one in my team's doing it, I will check behind to stop flanks, especially on a map like Interference where the bottom of the map is so open and it's so easy to get flanks. You do need to every so often check, and it's not difficult for me to turn around with being on keyboard, so it's not really that much of an issue. And there's all these habits that you sort of lose, or then bad habits that you get back by not playing. This is not a good place for me to stand right now. I should have ran. And I'm just not doing anything. I'm not contributing anything to my team. So if we look at that sequence again really quick. To get the most out of this, as soon as that guy gone, I should have backed up to bunker to give myself some height. Staying here like this and looping around. Look, my teammate even came to help me out. And I just left him high and dry. So again, that was a bad fight from me once again. So try to get high advantages. If you know you're at a strategic disadvantage, don't take a stronghold and just broadcast your position to the enemy team. I'm trying to stick with my teammates at this point. Good crossfire. This was very silly. So there's no reason for me to be on B right now because they need to run to it. And I think in my brain, I thought they've tagged it. I can't recall exactly in the match, but I must have thought they tagged it for some reason. So I've gone over to sit in it. But I don't need to. So again, this is yet another position I put myself in, slash death. It was just totally unnecessary. So try to think about if it's necessary to go to Strongholds, and especially in the sniper nest area on this map, you are so exposed to so many angles. You really don't want to be going there unless you absolutely have to. Again, that was another really poor sequence. I'll go back because I was speaking as it unfolded. My teammates have taken damage. The only direction they could take damage from is that way. But forget that this guy's here for a second. This means to the right is dangerous. So as soon as this guy popped up at the top of my screen, I should have backed out. Because there is no guarantee that this player here is the same player that did the damage from over here earlier on. It probably is the same player, but that's not the point. There's so little information for me right now that just hard pushing this is just too risky. I hard push it anyway, and then the spawner comes in and shoots me in the back. I do get the assist, but yet again, this is a scenario where I died and didn't need to die. I'm trying to compensate too much for my negative KD. And there's frustration coming through in it because I don't want to be the reason my team loses, but by focusing on that so hard, I am becoming the reason my team loses. Stronghold Bravo, lost. Sometimes you just have to let the team carry you, and you do that by following your team around and just helping them in what they are trying to do. Even right now, I am so separated from my team. There is nobody anywhere near where I am. We've talked about in videos many times, imagine that if you have your team, if these are the players on your team, different players have got tethers to other players based on if they can help them or not. So like if there's a wall between these guys, they can't help each other. Yeah. If you're close to each other, then you can help each other. So it's the idea that imagine there's invisible tethers between people in your team. If you can't see what they see, then you can't help them. This is a really good example of me completely ignoring the invisible tethers, playing completely separately to the team. Unfortunately, I win the duel, but that's not the point. This is not the time to be roaming when my team is trying to take B. We should be helping them out. Because we didn't take B. They respawned on bunker because we were on B and we didn't win the fight. I guess we did go back to A, but on a macro level, it was the wrong decision. I should not push this. Okay, I push it. This guy being trapped in bunker means the open map is a 3v4 for us in our favor. And by pushing into bunker, I'm giving this guy space. And I do trade him out, but again, it's just so aggressive and just totally not needed. So if you're in like platinum or gold, like a lot of these players I'm making, they are not diamond players. They are very bad. These are desperate players. This is the stuff that will happen all the time in platinum lobbies. And it's quite embarrassing actually that I'm doing it. But the biggest issue I have right now is consistency as a player. And that's why I've avoided doing videos and been shoutcasting instead. But yeah, there's a big lack of consistency from me right now. And this video is really showing you guys that. And hopefully it's giving you areas that you can look at as well. This is a nice little way to escape using sewers. I really like the cut through from basement across to the sort of the A yard area. Identifying that A is a pretty dangerous area right now, trying to flank round. I think I may have grenaded my teammate there. 3 of us on A, they're taking C, they're also taking B. You can tell there's a guy in E1, or you can tell there's a guy from the outline, but my ears must have just completely ignored that. So again, spatial awareness. Should have helped my teammate there. Hopefully he doesn't die from that. Is that a dead shot? Let me know in the comments, have you been getting more dead shots on this networking? Because I know my aim's not as good, but I feel like I'm getting a lot of shots that are not doing damage that should be. Right, let's have a look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miss. Ah, so it wasn't a headshot, okay. Fired too early. Got him in the chest. Always great to shoot teammates in the back. So that this location is good to hold from. Because my teammate's here, My other teammate is to the other side. You could argue here that the correct play would have been to watch long haul for them. And I think I should have done that. Because we could have pushed into a huge crossfire here and just died. See the guy that's on catwalk that I've ignored. We've also got a guy at the far side on carbine as well. And catwalk is now missing. 2 people pushing the long haul. So by being on B like this, I'm just isolated. And I know I'm isolated and I try and escape and there's nothing I can do. What I probably should have done in this case is because they had so many people trying to take B, I should have accepted the fact that I was going to die. And I should have just wasted their time. So like, straight away I can see there's 2 players that are trying to come for me here. It's very unlikely you're going to get out of this. So just waste their time. Because I die and they don't take any damage. So that means that once they've taken B from us, they can just do what they want. Yeah? Whereas if I'd have waited on B, my teammate arrived, we may have been able to kill someone. And that would have stopped them and we would have got more points. So yeah, again, I am still the reason the team is losing. Cease to go at the bottom. We are in the lead at the moment. I'm not going to spoil who wins. But it's not because of me that we're in this position. This is a very stupid push. Let's just scroll back to look at the information that we've got. So the courtyard is completely open. My teammates are on the right-hand side. Nothing is happening at A. This guy is hiding here. This suggests that the enemies are this way. We don't know how many enemies it is. I'm one shot as well, and I'm peeking. If there was someone running up the stairs here, this was instant death. And I'm very lucky, or unlucky, I guess, that this guy didn't see me. But now he's behind there, so I can't see him. And I'm regenning, so this is not good. I'm in a position of vulnerability. This teammate is also in a fight. So I think the logic here was that I was trying to retreat from that fight, but why would you retreat into an open area? That's really silly. So I should have actually stayed here, and if this teammate, unfortunately, would have had to bait him out because I'm weak as well. But if this player took damage and then pushed, I would have been in a position to kill him. But instead, I just pushed out into the open for some reason, trying to get behind him when I didn't really need to get behind him. And then that caused both me and my teammate to die for nothing. So it's just bad decision after bad decision that you're seeing here, just based on situational awareness. Enemy team scored. This is fine, retreating and using the wall as cover. I'm not useful while I'm weak. But then pushing into the fight when I'm weak, I'm definitely going to die for this. Yeah, just pushing into the fight with no shields, like, why? These are bad decisions that are being made, and hopefully this is not reducing your confidence in me. This is a particularly bad game from me. But this is just when you're in that mindset, when you're tilted, when you're trying to make up for stuff, you're going to make the dumb decisions, and these are all the dumb decisions, and we all do it. But it's understanding when you're doing it. So this is crunch time in Strongholds now. It's really important wherever we are on the map based on the score. So taking B means we have to full commit to it. My teammates are on A and they've spawned on A. So this is kind of telling us that they've not quite entered the yard area yet. Sorry, not the yard area. The BR bunker area, like the bottom of bunker. And we know that from 2 things. First of all, obviously A is not being taken. Second of all, our allies are spawning in that area. Here I just need to try to waste their time to get the cap. It's not Slayer. I don't need to kill the enemy. I need to get the stronghold. My team are here to support. I need to wait for them to shoot and then help them. I'm just keep getting tagged by Ned. So again, I'm just staying low while I can. I don't want to peek and just get killed. Now my shields are up. We're going to peek. We're going to try and get some damage in. But timing-wise, the enemy team pushed around because my teammates died. In this scenario, we know the enemy has full scent for B. If I was alive, I would have gone for C. And my teammates are sort of picking up on that by going the other way. B is already lost and 2 people have died. It's likely it's a 4v2 at B. It's not worth it. We're trying to get the spawns at the back of the C area now. Because then we can meet the enemy team if they try and take B.
The enemy has captured Bravo. Enemy team.
Fizz kind of noticed this. And he's moved over. I'm looking for someone to flank. Enemy Allied has now gone to check that out. It's really important for us now that we get some form of push on B, but the team kind of can't decide what they're doing, and this is the issue with solo queue. It's that you can't make decisions because the team isn't communicating. So it was unfortunate here that they wanted B and I wanted C and I wasn't there. And when I noticed it, I tried to get over to them, but because there's so little time left now, we either tag something or we just lose the game. So I just went to tag C knowing full well that I would die. They went to tag B. Totally out of sync with each other. I guess Fizz came to help me. But we're very vulnerable in the basement down here. And with them being two of them, I didn't isolate the angle. Fizz gets killed by the other guy. He tags it. They take A back. Tasty has to fight outside of the area. And then we lose the game. So I hope this was a nice return to form. We are back now. Live streams pending. But otherwise, playing Halo a lot. Loving it. Videos coming back out. Lots of things to learn here from. Isolating fights properly, not trying to compensate when you're behind, staying with the team and thinking about the tethers, thinking about where you can take fights from and not just putting yourself in unnecessary situations and all that kind of stuff. So we will be taking requests again soon. If you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments. Probably a little rusty, not as high quality as the ones that we've done so far because it's just been so long, but we are here nonetheless. So thanks for watching. This has been Vanadam. See you again soon, and I hope you enjoyed it.